Hi, so let's go on talking about dictionaries. We were talking about the different dictionaries that I wanted you to check out, right? We haven't worked everything out. We haven't looked at all the entries, right? But before we get down to work, I wanted actually to go. Remember the last time we went here to the help section of the Merriam-Webster and we checked out definitions and entries and usage. I want to go back to this concept of a definition, but this time I am going to take you to el Diccionario de la Real Academia Española and its advertencias. And here is where you find something similar to what you found here, only as you can see, this is much more detailed, much more professional. And we're going to go Control F to definición. And here actually what you find is el contenido de las acepciones, right? And you will find what we call marcas, que son las labels que vimos en el diccionario, perdón, en el diccionario anterior. Y vamos a ir, y también están las notas de uso, usage notes o usage paragraphs, que vimos en el otro diccionario, los otros diccionarios. Y ahora vamos a ir a la definición. Y acá nos explica el diccionario que hay básicamente tres tipos de definiciones. La definición perifrástica, que tiene un hiperónimo, al cual modifican unas cuantas notas semánticas. Es decir, la definición perifrástica es aquella que tiene un hiperónimo, por lo general un sustantivo, pero puede ser otra, dependiendo de la palabra que estemos definiendo, una palabra que es genérica y una explicación que nos da las especificidades de esa palabra. Por ejemplo, un perro es un animal de 4 patas que tenemos en la casa. Perro sería ese término hiperónimo y animal que tenemos de 4 patas que solemos tener en la casa, obviamente es una definición muy casera, esa sería la especificidad. Esto se denomina en términos técnicos el género y la diferencia específica. Perro es un animal, animal sería género, que guardamos, que tenemos en casa, diferencia específica. In English this becomes genus, genus se escribe, and differentia. I will show you here. Oh, I'm missing an E. Oh no, yeah. Yeah, see, sometimes this is a variant with an E, right? The full word of, this is a word of Latin origin. All right, volvemos al castellano. Entonces, tenemos la definición perifrástica con el hiperónimo y la diferencia específica. La definición sinonímica, lo cual es muy obvio, es decir, un sinónimo, una palabra similar. Y por último, la definición impropia o explicativa, que es la que se usa para definir preposiciones, interjecciones, palabras que realmente no tienen un verdadero sentido. Después vamos a ver que las palabras se clasifican de diferentes maneras, pero hoy no lo vamos a ver eso. Vamos a volver acá. Entonces yo quería volver a la definición de thesaurus. And here we have a book of words or of information about a particular field or set of concepts. So here we have the genus, the book, and the differentia, the rest. And if we go here, I was looking up the word unremarkable on purpose, but that was well, let's go to unremarkable. Actually, this is a definition through a synonym. Unremarkable means ordinary. But if we go back to thesaurus, remember, that was a book that lists words, right? So the genus, the book, and the differentia that lists words. So something that tells me something specific about that book. And that's how we organize the world. And that's why I made you listen to the name of this guy.
Territories, people started saying, what are you?
Well into the 18th century, when you had Linnaeus, Carl Linnaeus.
So we have another way of pronouncing his name, right? Linnaeus, right? Linnaeus. You will hear different ways of pronouncing his name. He was a Swedish botanist or a naturalist or a biologist, and he was the one who introduced the system of classifying species. Some people go species, right? Most people go species. And that's actually very, very interesting, right? Now, going back to our definitions and the concept of a genus and the differentia, instead of using the term genus like this, I don't know if they have it here. I doubt they have a definition. Oh, they do have a definition for genus, right? The plural is genera. Which is something, I mean, this is a classification by Linnaeus, right? There's a class, there's a kingdom, there's an order, there's a phylum. You don't want to do this now. But what we're going to do is to choose another term that's more used in linguistics, which is, that is a term you know, right? Now remember that en las advertencias acá hablaban de el hiperónimo. ¿Se acuerdan? Esa es la palabra que nosotros usamos en castellano, es la misma que superorginate, pero también tenemos hypernym en inglés. El problema con hypernym es que la pronunciación se parece mucho a la de hyponym, que es la palabra que vamos a ver a continuación. Entonces, en inglés por eso se prefiere la palabra superorginate. Es decir, que en vez de decir hypernym, because, a ver si se escucha.
Hypernym.
Hypernym.
Americans do pronounce this little r here, but since British English does not, hypernym becomes the same as hyponym. So they're the same thing. And actually, they're not the same thing. They're something different. So in English, we stay away from the word hypernym and we prefer the term superordinate. What is a superordinate? It's a word, the genus, with a general meaning that includes the meanings of other particular words. For example, fruit is a hypernym of apple, orange, banana, and whatnot. And what is a hypernym? The hypernym is the word with a particular meaning that is included in the meaning of a more general word, for example, dog, cat. So are hypernyms of the word animal. And because of that, dog and cat are what we call co-hypernyms. That includes also giraffe and elephants and deer and dolphins, and that's the reason why I have this page here about the fake animal news abounding in on social media, right? Well, let's go back. That was a little digression. So what is really significant about knowing this about the definition is that this little term, the genus, is very helpful when I do not know how to explain what something is. Sometimes this is very difficult, and sometimes this can be very difficult. So a hyponym, the word hyponym looks like a very complex term, but basically hyponym is a type of word. So that frankly is very helpful both for teachers who want to explain the meaning of something and for translators, because you know that the genus, that the superordinate term that is used to define a word is going to be very helpful for you to translate. And the same goes for the definitions that have synonyms, because the word unremarkable in English can be very difficult to picture in Spanish. Once you know this is ordinary, then the translation becomes a lot easier, right? So that's why I wanted you to see these different types of definitions. And I believe that is all.